Professional wrestling, the fake sport of fake kings. Wrestling's in a weird spot at the moment, with upstart company AEW gaining steam by the week, and with Vince McMahon somehow looking both younger and older than his 75 years. It's truly impossible to predict what the future holds for the wrestling business. By the same token, it's also hard to predict what the future holds for wrestling games. The WWE 2K series has been put on indefinite hiatus for retooling. AEW and Def Jam have both teased new games, but nothing has been confirmed. As we sit in the summer of 2020, there is no clear contender for the next truly great wrestling game. And while no one knows what the next great wrestling game will look like, we all have a general grasp on what the next great wrestling game should look like. There are certain features that wrestling fans want and need from their games. And that, my friends, is why we're here today. As always, if we leave anything out, or if you disagree, feel free to hit us up in the comment section below, over at the Operation Sports forums, or just throw me off of Hell in a Cell and watch me plummet 16 feet through an announcer's table. We're Operation Sports, I'm Matthew Ederer, and these are the top 5 things the next great wrestling game needs. Number 5. Return of GM mode, or a universe mode with stakes. Universe mode is something that UFC fans have been wanting in their games for years, and it's a really great addition to WWE video games this decade, but there are 2 problems with it. 1, it came at the expense of GM mode, and 2, there's not really a point to universe mode. Sandbox game modes are fun on their own, but without a clear goal at the end, they tend to become boring quickly. There are ways, however, to set up a wrestling game universe mode that incentivize and reward good performance. Essentially, we should combine GM mode and universe mode. Universe mode should include multiple different online or offline GMs, and monthly and yearly goals to hit. At the end of each year, the most successful GM could be declared the winner, perhaps receive a draft pick, some kind of prize, or the ultimate reward, a new friend along the way. Aw. Number 4. Deep, non-linear career mode. WWE 2K20 was raked through the coals, and rightfully so. It was so bad it basically shut down the entire wrestling game industry for a minimum 18 months. But chief among WWE 2K's problems was the laughable career mode. WWE 2K20's career seemed like it was written by 1,000 monkeys who all hated professional wrestling. That game openly made fun of you, the wrestling fan, for liking wrestling. Generally, when we look at career modes or story modes that have been widely enjoyed in sports games, certain things come up time and time again. It has to be non-linear and changing, similar to WWF No Mercy. It has to really feel like the sport or game you're trying to replicate, which NBA 2K is actually pretty good at. And it's good if everything you do has an effect on your player and helps you to grow. The new UFC 4 career, or the ultimate My Career, Skyrim, great examples of this. You can't tell me that beheading Dark Elves as a level 41 Redguard Barbarian isn't a sport. But what I want to see is wrestling career mode where every move that I do matters. I want to start out with basic punches and kicks and maybe one top rope move. If I go to the top rope more, I level up my aerial attack and I can start hitting shooting star presses and twisting 450s. If I stay on the ground more, I can level up my submissions or striking and start hitting Kurt Angle suplexes or crazy Aleister Black kicks. The best career modes have RPG influences and elements, and pro wrestling is tailor-made for that kind of innovation. Number 3. More match types. This one is very simple. There has never been a wrestling game that had anything close to even an adequate amount of match types. Never. Once. There have been literally thousands of different types of wrestling matches in recorded history, most of which entirely insane. In fact, all of which entirely insane. Pro wrestling is 2 people in their undies pretending to fight. But I digress. This is 2020, and until I can have a lights out, no ropes, barbed wire, exploding ring, piranha death match, I consider your wrestling game incomplete. Number 2. Deep Creation Suite. Now this is important, but I think we can all agree that wrestling games are generally great for user creation options. There's no reason to think that they won't continue to be great in the future. One thing I will say is that between Fire Pro Wrestling and MLB The Show, we have numerous examples of sports games that allow user-uploaded music. WWE 2K had it on last-gen consoles. Let's really hope they put it back into the game in PS5 and Xbox Scarlet Bordeaux Series Q. Number 1, good gameplay. It's almost trite to say it, it's almost too easy to say it, but at the end of the day, the thing the next great wrestling game will have is good gameplay. The thing a wrestling game needs most is to be fun. The reason why people love the classic wrestling games, such as WCW vs. NWO Revenge, WWF No Mercy, and even Def Jam Fight for New York, is because the gameplay is top notch in all of those games. You don't only have to look at past wrestling games though, people love Super Smash Bros. Because it's incredibly fun, it's straightforward, and it's addictive. It's simple, but it has a depth that rewards veteran players. People love Fall Guys because it's very fun, straightforward, and addictive. The creation options, the different rule sets and maps, the costumes, the emotes, all of these things in these various games are cherries on top of a delicious sundae, but the meat and potatoes of the games are what keep people coming back. No matter how many crowns or masks you add to the game, this will be true until the end of time. It's been a very long time since a wrestling game was so fun that it got non-wrestling fans interested in it. It's been a long time since a wrestling game transcended the wrestling status and just became a party game. Of all my wishes for the wrestling business, this is my foremost wish. I just hope that we get another fun wrestling game. Another wrestling game that gets people who would never care about wrestling otherwise to check it out and maybe become fans. Also, I hope AEW lives. It'll probably go either way on Vince McMahon. Thank you very much for watching. We're Operation Sports and I'm Matthew Ederer, and if you like this video, please hit that bell and give us the old Orange Cassidy half thumbs up. It's going to be a busy few months with no less than a half dozen major sports games coming out between now and Halloween 2020. Keep it locked here at Operation Sports for more sports gaming coverage that's too hot to handle and too cold to hold. We are the cream of the crop. Yeah. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching, everybody.